I have been working on the Facilitator training course offered through Wiley for Everything DiSC Workplace, and I am just about to wrap up the month-long learning experience. I have finished the survey this evening and will be now taking the exam. And one of the ways that I like to study, whether it's a book I'm reading or a course that I'm taking, a new song that I'm learning to play or to sing, I like to share it with others. And so that's what I'm doing with you. I am sharing one of the techniques that was addressed in the facilitator training during this past month. There was mostly self-directed learning in the training, but then also 3 90-minute virtual live sessions. We just finished one of those this afternoon that was really fantastic. And the breakouts involved 2 or 3 other people in the course, and we presented our projects to each other. So that was just a really interesting time. In the group that I was in, everybody had such a different way of bringing a solution to their client, and the various elements that they included were things that we could all learn from. For example, the solution that one of my colleagues presented in that breakout room had some ideas and tactics that I was jotting down notes about because I thought, oh goodness, one of my clients is really going to appreciate this particular activity or that particular activity. So it was increasing my repertoire to be a part of that project presentation this afternoon. I thought I would tell you about the people reading technique that you might hear if you're participating in a workshop that includes the Everything DiSC workplace content. I am an authorized partner with Everything DiSC and also with the 5 behaviors, so this is something that I would be talking about if you had me in your executive education classroom or working with your staff in a workshop or a retreat. And sometimes we do these things virtually as well. The first thing to consider when you're people reading, this could be someone you're interacting with on your team. Maybe it's a new hire that's just joined your company and you'd like to get a better feel for how to interact with that person and make them feel comfortable in your work environment. You would ask yourself these questions. Is this person fast-paced and outspoken, or are they cautious and reflective? The second question that you would want to ask yourself of the person that you are trying to read is this particular person more questioning and skeptical, or are they accepting and warm? And then the third step is to combine those, and as you're looking at the circumplex of the DiSC model, you can begin to see where that person's style falls around that circle. And let me hold a diagram here. This shows those 3 steps, and you can see the model down there at the bottom. So a person would either be in that D quadrant, which stands for dominance, the I is influence, the S is steadiness, and the C is conscientiousness. And there can be combinations of those styles. So for instance, my style is ID. So I have some of the tendencies of a D and some of the tendencies of an I. And there are places for all the styles in our work environments. There is not a bad style or a good style. We need all of them present. And it's very helpful to learn this technique of people reading. Even if the person that you're trying to read has not gone through one of the DiSC profiles or assessments, it can help you gain an understanding of how to make that person feel the most comfortable, how to have the most effective type of communication with that person, or perhaps there's a conflict that arises and you'd like to know how best to deal with the conflict and turn it into productive conflict with that person. If you've done some people reading and figured out if you think that person might be in the D quadrant, the I, the S, or the C, or some combination of those, it's going to give you some information to work with that will help you have much more success in how you communicate with that individual and interact with them in the workplace. It has really been a lot of fun to be a part of this month-long training. Wiley offers the training throughout the year, so if you are interested in becoming a certified facilitator, Everything DiSC Workplace, you too can go through the training. They offer the training both for authorized partners with Everything DiSC, or if you're not an authorized partner, but you might be the person in your company or your organization who leads a lot of training and you'd like to take this material to a deeper level of understanding, this is a great course to take. If you're interested in the upcoming dates of when it's going to be offered, visit my website, everythingdisc.com/Vickie Maris. If you scroll down to the bottom of that page, you will see a listing of the upcoming dates of the facilitator training. Thank you for listening and watching as I share what I've been learning about people reading skills with that DiSC framework around it. Please do share in the comments if this is a technique you are already using in your work environment or your home environment, or if you're interested in trying it out. Let me know how it works out for you. I have had a lot of fun practicing it as I play music with our band, Scott Greason and Trouble with Monday. I have been people reading our band members. We have also been, my husband and I have also been using the people reading skills in some of the other boards and groups where we are serving. So it's been quite a useful technique and opens up some interesting lines of discussion and communication. Thanks again for being here. If you are listening to this on the podcast, I want to thank you for listening and also invite you to help others find the podcast by sharing this episode out on your social media feeds. You can grab a screenshot if you're listening via your phone, or you can share it from the website. And if you have an extra minute or two, I sure would appreciate it if you would head out to whichever directory where you download your podcasts and listen and write a review and give it a rating. I also do read each bit of feedback that you provide as you're writing your rating and review. So it's helpful to me in evolving the show to best meet your needs.